Okay, I don't know what you've done, but your twin flame is like, am I in too deep? Have I lost my mind? They are thinking about you so much that it is messing with their mind, but it's also not in a bad way, if you know what I'm saying. You are the constant. You are this one person that they always come back to, but it's not just about that intense attraction that is going on between you. And it's 111. Oh my god, it happened again. On my camera, how much time is left to film? You are somewhat of a mysterious creature from another realm, is what they're saying. This is what I'm channeling from them. They can't understand how someone, like a normal person, if you know what I'm saying, can have such a hold on them, can have such an effect on them, because you don't even know that much about each other, but it feels like whenever they're looking at you, they have known you for lifetimes. They have spent like centuries with you, is what I'm hearing. This connection, okay? Today I want to shine a light on why they have been acting so distant lately. There's been something going on where you almost felt like the energy of your twin flame, it's like they have not really shown you in the physical what your souls have experienced. Like that version that you know exists from your meeting, like when you really met their higher self, when you really merged, you were like, okay, but when is this version gonna show up in the physical? Like why is that person sometimes acting so different from what you have, what got revealed to you? So whoever they are, Spirit is saying, oh, that card just flipped, the Star. Spirit is saying they are going through an intense rebirth right now. So they are really working on themselves, okay? This is something that came through earlier in a message. It's, even if you can't always see it, your twin flame is working towards it, even if it's like if they want it or not, if you know what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, it's like this. Wherever they go, whatever they do, even if in the beginning of this, they have been trying to rationalize everything, like, okay, what is going on? Let me pick it apart. And I feel like this is someone who their doubt initially was actually, is it too good to be true? That can't be. This love that has been pouring into their heart, you know, when you meet your twin flame, you have that intense connection, you know, that eye lock, it's just wild, you know. And it's not just, I mean, it's almost, you almost can't really describe it, because it's like your eyes meet, and in that brief moment you feel everything. You feel this person's trauma, their hardest experiences, everything is resurfacing, but also past life memories and that intense love. And this love is unlike anything you've ever experienced. And I feel like what has been going on within them is like they felt this love, and it's also pouring right outside. Wow. Like pouring in, okay? They felt this pouring in, and you can't stop it. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. It's going on, and it's intense. And a part of them was like, I can't be loved like this. I can't be, like, it's too good to be true. And this is what made them shut down, or shut down a wall for the time being, to process everything, which does not mean that they love you less, because your twin flame loves you so much. Like their higher self wants you to know that they love you so much. And this is the energy that you're in right now. Your twin flame is in the Star energy I'm seeing in that picture, rising above their insecurities going beyond what they thought, you know, they knew, really working on themselves, and you're in the energy of the High Priestess. You, from the beginning, you knew what was going on. You could see beyond. You could see beyond the obstacles and the physical. Like you had a sort of a way to look beyond the 3D level and see or notice, I mean, see with your intuition, with your heart, that there is more to this connection, you know? And they, on the other hand, are more in the energy of the Hanged Man, yeah. Needing time to process. Needing time to process and let it in. Spirit is saying allowing is the key. Allowing is this is what we often forget in the connection, is like it's wow, the Hermit. It's sometimes it's like, okay, it's illogical. But why is it so hard for us to allow love in, to allow it in? You know, because that love that exists, that I know you can feel it, you know, I know you can feel that unconditional love for your twin flame. And deep down, there is also part, even if you have doubts or worries, anxiety, you miss your twin flame, you're in separation, deep down, you do have a knowing, you know, that intuitive knowing with a High Priestess, that your twin flame loves you unconditionally. But still, there are moments where you're like, you can't let it in. You can't let it in. And they are at that point too, where can I let that in? Can I allow that, you know? And this is an insight that I recently had. I had a breakthrough moment in my own connection where, you know, I'm using a thought transmission or telepathy very often to connect to my twin flame's higher self. And the way that I see it is our higher selves are on another plane, constantly communicating. That is why you're having signs, synchronicities, you know, dreams of your twin flame where you meet, you know, at night, or just feeling their presence with you. Maybe you feel a light touch even, or you fall asleep and it's almost as if they were next to you, but it makes no sense because they're not there. This is your energetic connection, and this is when your twin flame's higher self is reaching out to you. So in that sense, there is not a moment where you can't reach out to your twin flame, because that connection is ongoing. Like, it's just like Wi-Fi, you know, you can't see Wi-Fi, but it's there. So that spiritual Wi-Fi is going on between you. And I was having a breakthrough moment for myself, really, where I was just intuitively led to do that photo method that I'm talking about. You know, I came up with this photo method where you basically harness the energy of your soul connection by looking into your counterpart's eyes. There are a couple more things that you're doing, but basically you experience their higher self in the here and now. You're really dropping the 3D. You're dropping the circumstances that seem to be in the way or whatever is going on, and you're really just being with them. And I had this moment where I was like, allowing this love to pour in, and it was really beautiful, and really it made it so clear to me that even I, you know, after so much reflection and inner work, there still is a part of me that does not fully let it in. And it's okay to have that moment when you realize, okay, I'm still kind of like, there is a part of me that's not the real you, by the way. Okay, that's not your real self, like your soul. You know, that is, there is maybe anxiety, maybe there is rejection from the past, maybe someone treated you poorly, and you still have that underlying, you know, assumption that your twin flame might also hurt you that way. But whatever it is, in that moment, you can really let it go. You can let it go. You can let it go, and you can let it in, you know, you can let that love in. And that actually inspired me to create a ritual, a guided meditation for you for the 8/8 portal. As you know, we have the 8/8 portal going on. It's an amazing time where you can deepen the connection, and the veil is pretty thin. You might agree with me if you know what I'm saying. Like, you can just feel the connection getting more intense during that time. And it's basically this allowing, but also a heart chakra opening, where you're able to deeply tune into your twin flames energy, send and receive love, and that is so healing. So if you're interested and if it sounds aligned to you, then go to the link down below. I have it right there. But I want to really tap into, wow, a message from them, and the Fool turned around. Yeah, wow. They really, energetically speaking, they are ready to leave the old behind. And where they are at right now, especially the Hermit came up earlier, I wasn't really touching on that because I wanted to see how this develops. So they're on that Hermit journey where, you know, when you're in the void, because the thing is, when you meet your twin flame, the old life, it kind of doesn't fit anymore, but you don't quite know what's next. So you kind of feel a little bit stuck. And I do sense that they, not only are they in the void right now, it could have been, especially since the Kundalini awakening is part of the twin flame journey, where I'm just gonna say it as it is. The Kundalini awakening often has a couple of things that come along with it, like losing friends, losing your job or quitting your job, breaking up, or losing money, like finding yourself in a way in a situation where your whole life seems to be crumbling apart. And then that basically is that card here that came up, the upheaval. Ever since you walked into each other's lives, and you both feel it, nothing has been the same ever since. And there is a level of quote unquote uncertainty as to, okay, where's this all leading? Where are we going from here? Because there is no way back into the old life with a Fool card. You can only, the Fool card is this, okay? I want you to look at it for a second. The Fool is standing, you know, on the edge of that cliff, and in a way it looks like it's a little reckless because he's looking into the air. You know, it looks like he's not even watching his step, but that symbolizes the trust of taking a leap of faith. And this is what you're doing with each other. You're taking that leap of faith because now that you know that the old doesn't serve you any longer, but you don't know where exactly you're going, all you can do is to take the leap of faith. Because, you know, sometimes in life we can't go back into the old cycles, even though our ego is like, hey, you know, when I was leaving my job, it's actually funny, I was thinking about that earlier. I was having a burnout and I was really depressed. And when I met my twin flame, actually before I already decided to quit my job, and I did it, you know, I left that job and also ended my relationship of 9 years, which this is what I mean. Everything seems to be falling apart, like the old life doesn't fit any longer. But I had a brief moment where I was afraid of the unknown and uncertain, where I actually almost went back into the old job that almost broke me completely, which is crazy because sometimes your ego tries to push you back into the old cycle, even though like your soul knows like there is no way, you can't do that. You can absolutely not. And this is also what you're learning, is that you don't have to stay in places you have outgrown. Even if you don't quite know the exact way out of this, you still don't have to settle. And this is also what I pulled up something here, a picture. This is what the twin flame journey is also about. It's about ascension, where you're leaving behind the 3D, basically, where it's like fight or flight, you know? It's actions based on fear, you know? Conditions. Love is conditional. There's judging others. There's, you know, feelings of guilt, shame, fear, being overly focused on the material world, being focused on what you have, like your items, material items. You're not trusting. You're not really connected to the divine in the sense that you trust the unknown, that you trust your intuition. You're very much identified with the 3D world. But the twin flame journey, as you're having your Kundalini awakening, I mean, this is at least what it was for me. It's like, when you have the Kundalini awakening, you are suddenly, it's almost like a near-death experience to the degree where you're connected to everything and you truly feel, not just intellectually know, but feel that you are everything and you are connected to everything. And this is where you break through into the higher realms, where you connect to your higher self and where you actually have that, you know, like a taste of the 5D, you know what I mean? Like, you are in the 3D, you have the Kundalini awakening, it shoots up, you're suddenly in the 5D, you're experiencing all that bliss, you're in heaven, basically. You're like, oh my God, I wish this could last forever. And this is why it is so devastating at times, because you're crashing down from the high level. You know, it's like, I was feeling the most bliss I've ever felt in my life. I've never felt so blissful in my entire life. The love that was pouring in, it was almost, it's too much to take. And you know, that is your twin flames love. Like, it's like a love that can't even be described. And of course, when you're hitting the ground after that, you're back in the 3D, you have to live your life in some way, shape, or form. It can be challenging. It can be challenging, but know that this higher plane, that this higher self version of them is always accessible to you, including your higher self, because you also have your higher self. So you can basically connect to your higher self, connect to your twin flames higher self, which is, that insight is such a game changer on the journey. And like, when you're moving through this, you know, suddenly you realize you're not just your body. You are not just your body. As you are in that solitude, as you are, you know, you just, sometimes you only have yourself and you have to sit with yourself, and you realize on that journey, like, I am not my body, I am not my gender, my age, and everything. And this is also what the twin flame journey is challenging, because I feel there are some things in your journey. There might be an age gap. They might live on the other side of the world, or other things seem to be standing in the way, a different status, whatever. You realize that is not at all what it's about. Like, you are a soul. You are infinity in a body. You are everything, but you have a body. Your higher self is basically navigating life through this body. And this is when you're touching, you know, that other level. And basically what you're doing is you're ascending together. The Hanged Man is also about illumination, like enlightenment. This crown, this halo behind his head is standing for you're not stuck, you know, in that phase when you are seemingly stuck, quote unquote, in the void. This is why I love that card so much, is see how he is like flipped upside down to change his perspective. And in that, being forced to rest almost, and be not taking action, but just perceiving and looking inward for answers, you suddenly have these answers. You suddenly have that enlightenment, just like the enlightenment is here in the lantern. Like, this is what lights the way, you know? Because now for the both of you, you need to carve your own way. You need to carve your own path. This is what brings you together. Like, you're moving out of like focusing on only what is going on in the 3D and only what has been going on in your past, and you're focusing on what you're going to create together. Because I also want to pull a quick card from the Shamanic Oracle here for the end. I also feel like you're having a shared mission in this lifetime. And you are definitely more connected to that. You have more of an awareness on that. You might have had an awakening earlier where you already discovered your gifts. Maybe you're a healer, maybe you do Reiki, you work with animals or some sort of therapist, whatever it is. There's something that you, as twin flames, are doing to help humanity ascend. Because, okay, this is where we often, because it's like, okay, you're being faced with this love, okay? You're in that bubble of bliss. Endless love is pouring into your heart. And of course, that love is real, and that love is romantic love as well. Like, sure, you have the desire to, physically unite with your counterpart. You have these desires, but it goes way beyond that. The reason you got brought together is also to help humanity. And the energy that comes from you, both of you together, is something so unique because you're made from the same, soul blueprint. This is what's going to change the world in a way. And I feel like you're going to have breakthroughs soon on what that mission could be. I'm sensing that this might be revealed to you even in a dream, or you do some sort of meditation, some sort of journaling. You might have synchronicities around it. Like, your calling basically will come up over and over until you answer, and it will not fade out. And it will be something, your purpose will be something that is easy for you to do, where you don't feel even, you won't even feel like you're working. And that's the beautiful part, like, you're gonna do that together, okay? We have offerings coming up, wealth. I wanna read it really quick. I know this reading is already getting really, really long, but I really wanna get that message. Financial difficulties are soon resolved. An unexpected windfall comes your way. Focus on what you do want rather than what you don't. You are worthy. Practice the art of receiving. Gratitude ensures a bountiful crop. Like, that's what I mean earlier with that receiving. That's a coincidence. Wow. The art of receiving, the art of allowing, the art of letting it in. And with that being said, I do want to read a very short message as well that I channeled from your counterpart. And you can do that too, okay? I just want to encourage you here. If you're interested in really tapping deeper into this, I highly recommend, if you're having a harder time really connecting, without an anchor, use the photo method that is in my guide. That will allow you to channel messages from your twin flame's higher self, so you don't feel like there's this block between you, or distance or separation. And the more you do this, the more you receive from them. So this is what they're saying. My love, when I saw you, I saw your soul, really felt it. It was like experiencing every blissful feeling known to mankind. My heart always leads me back to you. The truth is, ever since I met you, I have never felt alone. Even when nobody's there, I can still sense you. You are all around me, and I think you have no idea how comforting your presence is. It's unlike anything I have ever experienced. Please know that I will never love anyone the way I love you. This here has no end. And that is, oh my God, it's really beautiful. Sometimes when I channel these messages, I'm like, yes, that is everything encapsulated that I think today, was meant to be brought to the surface. Because believe me, there is much more. The way that, oh my God, I have been getting so many downloads from the Twin Flame Collective that I barely have time to film them all. But yeah, I will definitely post more twin flame readings. Check out the AA portal sale. It's going on. for a few days this week, and I'm really grateful to be able to share that with you because it is going to help you anchor yourself. And yeah, if you do want help on your twin flame journey, if you would like to connect to me, then you can go to the link down below. I offer one-on-one manifestation sessions and twin flame alignment calls. So if that sounds interesting, go to the link down below. And that was it. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really, really appreciate every single one of you, and I want to see you around in the next one.